But anyone that wants to see evidence. 1, 2, 3. You want to see the fourth one? Alright, I'll grant you that.
She recognized me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
It sounds like she's like running away or escaping from some situation. What did she do that they had to hide her? Maybe she had Jewish blood and the Holocaust thing was going on. Would be my only... I don't know. Was she running away? Let's see the moves.
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday.
You ran away?
Bob Dylan was playing in London, and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off. I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station.
Yeah, both of them ran away.
But I blamed everything on my friend Eve. So my parents let me off.
Yeah, Eve is another keyword I could use, but I'm still a little curious here.
I hoover, I dust every week. I mean, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day. Ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front.
Now we have little robots that do it for us.
She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books.
Oh, Reader's Digest.
Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that.
That's bullshit. You can't hide the fact that you smoke. That stuff just clings to your clothing and your hair. And I don't know if she lost a baby or not. And I don't know who Doug is. No idea.
Like I said, I think I was popping out to get something, ran out of something, had to grab something.
Have to jerk off
I
something.
sometimes drive too fast. If you want, you can arrest me for that.
Well, you're already in the station. I don't know if it makes a difference. I'm just curious. Was there anything? No. I don't know if I can spell miscarriage correctly. Well, we're about to get some kind of answers.
No. I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months.
And she lived happily ever after.
We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after.
So she had a miscarriage.
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage, and then my parents.
And then all those people you probably murdered. Yeah, it's like everybody around me dies. It's like I have the touch. Everybody I touch with poison seems to just fall.
Yeah. They've gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something.
I thought you said you'll never get sick
When
again.
they called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage.
After you went
The worst
crazy.
year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that, it was just like, fuck.
Fuck. What did she say about keys?
Yeah.
The neighbor called me, and I had to use my key to let them in. Okay.
The neighbor.
Wait. Who was dead exactly? Was that both parents? We found them dead in their bed.
Just awful.
Okay. And that happened shortly after a miscarriage. An event that you could easily associate with somebody completely snapping. It's reasonable, right? Yes, that was the discovery. So the parents could have been dead before then.
Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications.
So she got pregnant again? Wait, did she have a miscarriage and then thought she was infertile, but then got...
Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications.
Well, she must have had a second pregnancy.
Hannah had a miscarriage.
Hannah?
This was late in the pregnancy and it left her infertile.
Wait a minute.
Felt like the universe had corrected its course. We were aligned again.
Wait a minute. I have a question.
But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents.
I have one
They
thought.
were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Derek had given him a full-time position after he left school.
Ooh la la, the Glaziers.
And then
Here's my thought. Are they interviewing two different individuals in these videos? Not just one? And yeah, if we can't tell which one's which, one of them is supposedly infertile, the other one could still have gotten pregnant, so it is possible that they're still doing their switcheroos. But this one, for example, is specifically referencing Hannah. I guess it doesn't tell us identities, it just gives us which interrogation room they're in. MT room. Interrogation room. The one where she references in third person Hannah is an interrogation room B. Whereas this one is MT. I'm not sure what that would stand for. Yeah, I don't think split personalities would be the case. They might actually have two different interviewees. Like they might actually be interviewing both people. Or, yeah, kind of like what Azimum's saying is maybe... But they would have picked up on the inconsistency. No, maybe not. Yeah, this one references Hannah in third person, so I don't believe this is Hannah. Infertile. So this is the interrogation room again. I don't know if, like, which rooms they're in might help influence any kind of corroboration between the two, but... She may have just had her hair up, though.
I think it was that time, the first time at the house, in his bed, that I got pregnant. Amazing, right?
No.
This fucking magic spell. And they say lightning doesn't strike twice.
Yes, it does. And the probability is actually pretty high.
I didn't tell him. I missed 3 periods. I had pretty irregular periods anyway, but 3. I had always thought we were infertile. Both of us. I didn't tell him. Just waited. Hannah and I were meeting for our birthday, and I told her because I thought she would be happy for us both. I think she was.
So, both of them are supposed to be infertile? I'm a little bit confused. I don't know if both of them got pregnant or what. At the very least, one of them had a miscarriage and was supposedly infertile as a result of complications, probably from miscarriage. But there's also the possibility, and I don't know if it's an actual disorder or not, but my thought process is if you have two, let's just call them identical twins for the time being, because I don't know if that's actually the case or not. If you have 2 people that are regularly switching identities with each other, as just a bad hobby or whatever, it's possible that your psychological state, your stability, your sense of self may get lost in that process, where it becomes difficult for you to discern which one you actually are, because you guys keep swapping roles back and forth, and you start to re-identify as the other person, and then you don't even know which one was the original identity. So it's very possible that it might not even be an intentional lying that could happen as a result, but people that are just like, I think I'm this one, I'm person A. Although no, you're actually person B, but it's like you think you're person A now? Like you legitimately might believe it. Yeah, the guy probably has no idea. And I would not be surprised if the wrong one got pregnant from them, that they would just agree to, okay, let's just swap identities and that'll fix it, right? I want to see if there's anything with like multiple personality, identity disorder, or identity. Since we don't have autocorrect spell checking, I wanted to know. I wanted to also look like schizophrenia and things like that. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Like, split personality does kind of fall in line with what I was kind of getting at, where it's kind of like artificially created split personality as a side effect of actually swapping personalities with each other, assuming that was what's going on. Because earlier they did say that they kept the diary of what they would do, and so it's kind of like here's how my day went, and you detailed everything, and it's like you relive them now, and then you guys, it's basically artificial insanity.
Okay. She's being chased.
She's being chased.
They're trying to catch her because she did something bad.
Is this when they hit her in the...
I guess she broke the rules. Or maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared, not guilty. Maybe it was mistaken identity. Did they catch her there? I don't know.
Do people with multiple personalities keep a diary? I'm not familiar with it myself, so I can't really. Abuse, maybe. We already looked up, like, chase and other catchphrases with that. Problem is, I don't know how to type schizophrenia. Schizo, or... I'm still curious what whoever was being chased by, that they hid them in the attic. Oh wow. MT interrogation. That sounds wild.
He has a wallet, a huge sealed thing, leather, real leather, I think.
Real synthetic leather.
He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. He always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back. You know. Offsets the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him. He always takes it out of his back pocket before, when he comes in, if he's in the house.
That's why you don't, like, for guys, you don't keep the wallet in your back pocket. It offsets, it causes damage to the spine. Recommend cargo pants and keep your wallet and shit in one of the, like, side pockets. Schizophrenia. I imagine if it didn't find schizo, then it's not gonna show anything further than that either.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock. That's our
This is the missing persons
They
report.
said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided.
It gets dark every day. Once every 24 hours, the cycle repeats. Yeah, you can send a link, sure. I won't be able to open it anytime soon, but... Holy fucking hell. Just the title of the article is already enough. Created 2,500 different personalities to survive an abusive father. I think that tells me a lot of... Holy moly.
No. I mean, yes, we have arguments, but he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way.
He always comes back. The makeup sex is great and blah, 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 blah. Except when he doesn't come back because somebody killed him. Maybe me.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier.
No Vista Cruiser for you.
For work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it.
I need to know
Both
who
of them are
Eric
there
is.
now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
I'm just gonna pre-type this. Because I'm gonna hunt that.
Yeah, when I was at school. I worked part-time in the front shop. It was sort of an extended family thing. My dad used to work there, my mum worked there before I was born.
You just gotta play with your hair.
I took care of paperwork, filing, typing out invoices, that kind of thing. It was a good job for a girl back then. I didn't work a till or anything though. I was quite shy, so I wouldn't have liked to have worked a till.
Till, isn't that what they called cash registers back in the day? Nowadays, you got people with like attitude problems. They're like, I'm a computer programmer. Then you find out they're just cashiers. You're like, what are you doing? Like, what do you look I'm doing? I'm programming a computer. No, you're taking people's orders. That's not computer programming. True story. Not quite in that exact phrasing, but someone thought they were working and operating and programming computers by using a cash register. And they had a hell of an attitude.
He was wearing a shirt.
Wow.
It's a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans.
Were they bell bottoms?
He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric.
Okay, so Eric is his boss.
He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
We bought it on sale at Burlington Coat Factory. He would never leave without it.
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one.
Wait, his boss convinced him to get a credit card? Why? Why? That doesn't sound responsible. So all the ones that were on 618 are missing person territory.
Well, Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Diane, huh? So that's his boss's wife. We'll just call her Princess Diane.
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there.
Oh no, there's more of her singing.
Not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really.
I didn't say
came back to
Princess
the house.
Diana, I said Princess Diane.
Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef,
It's pronounced Master Chief.
Facts, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
Nobody eats fennel, they just use it as like insulation for their house. Ah man, it didn't mark it as red. What the fuck? Oh wait, this... Oh wait, no, it's different. This is 17 seconds.
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing when they get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
She's a good cook. She work with poison? So I think this is post missing person period, right?
At the time they said it was poison. Food poisoning.
Ah, case closed.
I mean, I felt so guilty. If I'd still been at home, maybe I could have done something. I don't know.
Maybe if Gordon Ramsay was present, none of this would have happened.
I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us. There's always been pressure.
Yeah, this one is definitely the more suspicious personality, but at the same time, it's one, these are actors, so it's possible they just were acting off that session, or it could be that the character themselves was maybe having an off day, so to speak. Who knows? It could be a red herring, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm actually curious about the abuse myself. Let's look it up. Let me see what my... Oh. Curious. Abu. Ab. Hey. Hey. When in doubt, give me a vowel. Because I'm just like domestic abuse. Well, if it didn't have the word abuse, I don't think domestic. Unless it's like domestic violence. Like domestic violence. Oh, you're thinking the same thing. I think I like my search term better.
A black coffee, thanks. No sugar. I'm sweet enough as it is.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I think we found the very first clip in the whole section. Does it come with the leather jacket?
A mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the Glaciers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number. Oh, it's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle.
Ooh la la, your charging cradle. You had the fancy pants wireless land phone. No curly tangling all the fuck up cords for her. She's sweet enough as she is.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off with the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not books so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
He's got poor vision. Could that be relevant to something? Now, in one of these interviews, you can see she has a tattoo. I think it's this one. Like on her, I believe, her arm.
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering
Maybe
for a
not.
while. The present was a mirror. A nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
I swear to fuck, she had a tattoo on her left arm in one of these videos.
You want me to play?
Wait, I don't know. It'd be like
Across the road.
I swear to fuck. Because right here she does not. Not in this video. No
It
tattoo.
wasn't the present so much. It was one of
Unless
those
it's
arguments
being
that
blocked
had
by the
been
cup.
simmering for. Look, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it by hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. That's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror and he gave it to me.
I can think of better gifts than a mirror. Unless she's really narcissistic, perhaps. The VR generation's gonna love mirrors. But this is like 90s, so...
His body did not real. And his throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. He has these thick glasses. He doesn't always wear.
I know. Blind as a bat. Aw. Markings. Actually, I wanted to see some videos, because I swear to fuck she had a tattoo in one of them. See if we can dig up anything with Simon. Nope. Hannah. Wait, let me take a quick peek at this so I can see her. No.
Sure. It's your page. Yes. Hannah Smith. What are you doing talking about Eve?
Morse code?
Poor Simon.
It must be split personality. Multiple identity or something. And it looked as if she was communicating her other self through possibly Morse code or something. I'm not going to take the effort of deciphering Morse code, but it sounded like it's either a ritual for obsessive compulsive disorder, or she was kind of communicating with her other self or something. I should search Eve Budd. Kind of curious about the tapping.
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book, the knock code. Something prisoners of war would use. We'd tap them out on radiator pipes or the attic floor.
By we, do you mean the other you in your head?
Dad thought we had mice, but they couldn't find any.
Damn mice can speak Morse code.
Cat anyway.
Just train the cat to decipher your messages for you. It's just getting interesting, isn't it? Let's see if there's anything as far as OCD or obsessive. No. In your head or in my head? Alright, fine, we'll do Eve. Play.
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid.
Imaginary
She
friend?
was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
Play.
Yes. We'd fight.
Bare knuckle
We
boxing.
fought
3
on the beach
rounds.
once, and I held Eve's head underwater. There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it out. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown. But that was it. It was just a moment.
I couldn't reach my camera phone. No footage means I didn't want to do it.
It was a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, for a moment I was like, maybe she killed Eve and then took on a second personality of Eve in her mind, and then I don't know.
My mother called me Eve.
Your mother called you Eve. Now, this is the interrogation room. So I'm just trying to decide like how to identify this. So like the earlier videos took place in the MT rooms. Let's call her Hannah for now. Just so I can reference in some way. And we'll reference her as Eve. Now according to her, Eve was her friend and they had a bit of a love-hate thing going. She wanted to murder her. Uh-oh.
Mum and Dad had never had any reason to notice. They were always busy. If Hannah was eating a lot, they didn't mind. She didn't put on any weight. That girl has a healthy appetite. If they heard us talking in the attic, they just thought it was Hannah playing one of her games, and that Eve was our imaginary friend. Once, she was already up and dressed and ready to go to school, and I snuck down for a piss. Mum saw me in my underwear and she went mad. Get dressed this instant! So I ducked into our bedroom, and seconds later, out came Hannah, dressed and ready.
Did she also have to take a piss? So this is interrogation room. We were going to be referencing her as Eve, but she just said in an earlier part of the interview, or a different part of the same interview, Mom called her Eve, but then the mom thought Eve was their imaginary friend?
Mum and Dad had never had any reason.
And she talks about Hannah in the third person still, which is why I was saying let's reference her as Eve, but if they heard us talking in the attic, they just thought it was Hannah playing one of her games, and that Eve was our imaginary friend. So at the very least, this is kind of establishing that even the parents have trouble telling these two apart. Oh, wait a minute. Is there any possibility that the parents or the mom or whatever they're talking about is not aware of a second person. Like, is it possible that one is being hidden away as like a stowaway kind of thing? And like one is kind of kept prisoner, so to speak, in the attic while the other one goes about their daily life and they can swap back and forth. And the people, the Guardians, are not even aware that there's two different people that are identical. Because she might be referencing mom, but it might not be like biological mom. Because that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, which would also make sense why they would think Eve is their imaginary friend. Because if they're identical, like their voice is probably identical as well. So they would be talking, and it would sound as if you're talking both sides of the conversation out loud. So it's kind of like Necroxix talking to his imaginary friend Eve. How are you, Eve? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. How are you? I'm terrible. How about we not talk about this anymore? You know, that kind of thing. It would just sound like you're talking to yourself. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Damn. I want to do like stowaway or something, but that's when she talked about what prisoners used code-wise. You really want me to do the guitar song right now? Sure. That buys me 2.5 minutes. This is content.
You want me to play something? Well, I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay. Probably needs tuning.
She spills a lot of beans in these lyrics, which is really odd to me.
How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street.
Play the Hot Pocket jingle.
There were two sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in.
Eldest being Hannah, the younger one being Eve, perhaps?
See, they both had a love for the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. But he only cared for the youngest one. All that dreadful wind. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain. With a pretty little face and her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain. Watched her as she slowly drowned.
She described this earlier as well, with Eve.
Oh, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind and the rain. Floated till a ship came by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
Like, she didn't actually drown Eve.
Out comes the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. Father dear, here swims and swan. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
I kind of get too...
And then it gets really weird, so I think that's a good place to stop.
Like, I kind of get two things out of that now that we're thinking a little more. One, it sounds like a partial lyric-based readaptation of when she was talking about her love-hate relationship with Eve. So if we were to say the older is Hannah, the younger one's Eve, she kind of wanted drowned Eve or had the urge to and kind of tried but then didn't. Happened the same way in the lyrics. And it feels as if they're both after the same guy. The guy likes Eve. And if the mom thing being fooled in the way that it was and simply thinking Eve is an imaginary friend makes me wonder, is it a case of identical twins that are two people trying to share one life, as in like take turns and things like that to both get something out of it instead of just one person monopolizing, sort of? Is it Jealous or Jealous? I don't even know how to spell without spell check. Oh my god. I've adopted the millennial lifestyle. Lee.
Hannah was so smitten with Simon. She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date, we went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went, kept changing places in the toilet. We only had one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me, but that was it. We didn't want another card on our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back. After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him.
I think it's exactly what I was saying.
I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
So like earlier on when they were talking about like writing a diary and all that, it sounds like what I was just saying. They're literally sharing the same life. Simon is the prince in this case, right? And he probably only thinks and knows about Eve and not Hannah. And their rules were along the lines of like, we'll share this guy, we'll swap places and timeshare, so to speak. Timeshare is always a good concept, right? No, it's not. If anybody takes you out to a meeting and tries to have you invest in a timeshare, just say no. But then Hannah violated one of their rules by doing the badonky-donk thing in the bed. Yeah, I think it's something a little deeper than split personality. Carl, I do not know. But the thing is, it could still be like a sort of identity disorder or dissociation or whatever. Because essentially, if you have two people trying to share and live one life, you're going to lose a sense of who you really are and who you really were. Because it's like if I had an identical twin, we had like I'm Necroxix, and then this other person is, we'll call him not Necroxix, and like every other day every day we swap. It's like my sense of who I am becomes progressively more and more lost, and you still have like a diary of everything that happened while you were not living your, like when you had your day off, so to speak, to fill in the gap. Progressively it would get more and more difficult to dissociate yourself from the sort of shared life. Yeah. This is fascinating, though. Like, I'm genuinely fascinated right now.